Okay, I'm going to call the regular council public hearing meeting to order. And the first order of business, I will ask everybody to rise for the Honour Guard of the Royal Canadian Legion, Whalley Branch. Oops. Okay, please be seated. And I'd like to thank the Honour Guard for coming as they do every year, and these were representatives from the Whalley Branch 229. And I would encourage everyone to take a few moments out of their day on November the 11th to go to your local Legion or to a cenotaph and pay respects for those that have lost their lives and give us the freedoms that we enjoy today. So thank you very much to the Whalley Branch. Okay, so we will move on to the agenda for the meeting. And if we can have the adoption of minutes,
Move the
please.
minutes of Special Council October 20th.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
Move minutes to be received for Council and Committee October 20th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
Move minutes be adopted regular Council Land Use October 20th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
Move minutes be received, Finance Committee, October 20th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move recommendations be adopted.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move minutes be adopted for public hearing October 20th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. Now, if I could have a motion to vary the agenda and bring forward two items here, R186 and R187.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. So the Corp report R186 is the renewal of the Cloverdale Business Improvement Area.
To move the recommendation.
Second.
All in favor? Councillor Hepner.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I speak in favor of the recommendation, but I'm just acknowledging that the Cloverdale area and the businesses that are going into that area are expanding every single day. And I'm wondering if, as we renew the next time, or as the Cloverdale Business Improvement Area is recognized in their business plan after these next 5 years, could they in the interim be looking at an expanded area? Because I think it would be both to their advantage and to ours to make sure that those other businesses in that area are part of a growing district.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. R187, Chair Position, Mental Health and Addiction.
Move the recommendation. Second.
I have a seconder. Councillor Hain. Councillor Hain.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think this is a really important corporate report, and I think it's absolutely the right thing that we're doing in Innovation Boulevard and focusing on mental health issues. And I think the funding model is a sound one. The funding that we're going forward with, based on the partnership with SFU and PowerTech Labs for our clean technology sector, is a really good one. We're leveraging our dollars 2 to 1. And so I'm very much in favor of moving forward with this as quickly as we can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Gill.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, I just wanted to advise staff that I understand that Coast Mental Health, which is the largest nonprofit mental health organization in BC, has similar initiatives, and perhaps we could just quickly touch base with them. As you're aware, that Coast is also operating Timber Grove, and certainly there's some synergies there that we may want to take advantage of.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Hepner.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Well, when you look at the mental health in Canada, stating that 1 in 5 people live with a mental illness and that the economic cost is at least $50 billion a year, this position is a really small price to pay in terms of what we hope we get relative to the innovation that comes out of it. So I'm thrilled to be able to support it. I think it's a really significant step forward in creating a center of excellence for mental health and addictions right here in the city of Surrey.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will call the question. All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. Now moving into the public hearing portion of our meeting, Madam Clerk.
The first bylaw is official community plan bylaw number 18318 and zoning amendment bylaw 18319. The civic address is 16272 24th Avenue. The applicant is Mosaic 24th Avenue Holdings Limited. The applicant is seeking to redesignate the property from suburban to multiple residential and rezone from 1 acre residential to multiple residential 30 in order to develop a 94-unit townhouse complex. In addition, a development variance permit is being sought to reduce the setbacks in order to allow for efficient use of the site.
Okay, thank you very much. Persons not wishing to speak, I have 1 in favor, and persons wishing to speak, Colton Aston. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Yes, Colton Aston. Would you like my address?
Yes, please.
Okay. Unit 42, 16223, 23A Avenue in Surrey,
Okay.
B3S6B4. Council, myself and several neighboring residents, one of which is present here with me this evening, would like to voice our concerns surrounding the proposed development on the adjacent lot located east of our multi-unit residential complex. As a brief background, I've been a long-time resident of Surrey, having grown up in the South Surrey area. I also went to high school and post-secondary in the Surrey area, and more recently I have moved back to the area and purchased my first new home in the Grandview Heights area. I was seeking an area that was less densely populated while still being close to work, with reasonable access to all the natural elements in the Surrey area as well. The proposed development raises concerns with respect to the close proximity between the units of our existing complex, mine and other neighboring units, as well as an increase in traffic congestion and furthermore parking issues within our complex. Specifically, the first concern is in response to the proposed development variance permit as listed in Appendix 5 of the Planning and Development Report, item 4D, I believe it is, which is reducing the minimum west side yard setback of RM Zone 30 from 25 feet to 10 feet. Based on my observation of our existing complex, this proposed reduction will directly impact 19 units in our complex, which are oriented east-west, facing the proposed development, and 2 units which are oriented north-south in our complex. The proposed reduction to the west side yard setback appears to only create a distance of approximately 20 feet in diameter between our existing unit front entries and the proposed newly constructed unit sidewalls. This raises concerns over the reduction in natural light reaching our east-facing windows, privacy of the current residents, and a general lack of a view when facing an adjacent property. Furthermore, this close proximity raises concerns over the long-term property resale value of our existing units, in that potential future buyers may also be concerned with the close proximity and purchase elsewhere. The second concern surrounds the access roads of 23A and 23 Avenue, as listed in the development report and the development variance permit, which currently provide unit access for our own residents. Our complex as a whole is yet to reach full occupancy, and already the residents have noticed traffic congestion issues throughout each building phase and a general lack of street parking for vehicles. Currently, the residents already need to park vehicles near the entrance off 24th Avenue and have resorted to parking vehicles in tight or obstructed areas. This lack of parking and overall congestion in our complex appears to be growing, and we fear that this issue will only be exacerbated by allowing an adjacent complex to have direct thoroughfare access. It is also worth noting that currently on 23A and 23 Avenue, several children play in these streets as they are not fully exposed to the majority of traffic in the area. We, the residents, hope that the owner of the proposed development and the city will consider these concerns in hopes of finding an agreeable solution.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, is there anyone else wishing to speak to bylaw number 18318? First call, second call, third and final call. Next bylaw, Madam Clerk.
Zoning Amendment Bylaw 18320. The address is 13368 13A Avenue. The applicant is Avondale Development Corporation. The applicant is seeking to rezone the property from single-family residential to single-family residential oceanfront in order to construct a new single-family dwelling. In addition, a development variance permit is being sought to increase the lot coverage in order to accommodate a rear outdoor patio.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak to bylaw number 18320? First call. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Tony Balka. I live directly east of the proposed property.
Can I get your address, please, sir?
I live in 13380 13A Avenue. I don't have any problem with the rezoning, but I do have a problem with the variance, whereas they're going to build a swimming pool out to the back end of the property, which is probably 6 feet off the ground. I guess you don't have any pictures of it.
Can we see the layout here?
I have some photocopies of the development here, if that's any good, from the architect.
Okay, so you've got drawings
Yes.
for this?
This is what I'm going to be looking at, and this is the proposed. Excuse me. And this is a picture of the outline of where the actual building is.
Okay, go ahead. Sir?
That part is fine. That's from the back end. That just shows you the structure,
Okay.
a canopy over it. So, this is the outline. The contractor put that up to indicate the size of the canopy. That's I'm going to be looking at that back end of that structure. And that's one on the left is what I've taken a picture of.
Okay, Councillor Villeneuve, you had a question?
I'm trying to clarify. Is this house overlooking the sea, so the swimming pool is on the edge, or is your property in front of the house?
I didn't get what you said.
I'm trying to determine if your property is right on the slope, or whether this house property is on the slope.
It's my property is directly. That's it right there. See, my window looks directly at that property, at the angle of it.
Okay. So is the swimming pool close to the bank? I guess is my question.
Their swimming pool is, it'll be up in the air, yes. It's
So
just,
go ahead, Councillor.
I guess just through you to staff, is there any concern about a structure like that on the bank because of erosion of that bank? And I know we've dealt with issues before in this area because of slope erosion, so I guess I have some concerns whether that will be of concern.
Mr. Planner?
Mayor, the applicant has actually undertaken a geotechnical study, and as a result of the study, the siting of the building is based on the study that was done, and it has been reviewed by the city, and it is acceptable. So the siting of the building as proposed now has already taken into consideration the geotechnical report that was prepared for the site.
So your major concern is that the pool structure is an obstruction of your view?
it's so high up off the ground, and if they didn't have that cover over it, I guess there's change rooms in behind that. So
I see. So if they didn't have that, you wouldn't have an objection?
no, I really don't know. I had talked to the architect, and they thought that they said they couldn't lower the whole thing, but I can't see why not.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much for your comment. Appreciate that. Is anyone else there wishing to speak to bylaw number 18370? First call, second call. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Thank you.
Your Worship and Council, my name is Tim Ankenman. I'm the architect for the project. This is actually for an old client of ours, Jerry Olma, who's done a lot of very, very first-end work in Surrey. And so it's interesting that as he is getting to the end of his career, he has given us the opportunity to design this amazing home. Through your Worship, I actually have some photos and some information that I would love to put up in the overhead to support my argument. Thank you. The first you will see is I guess we've been monitoring closely any neighborhood concerns, and when we first learned about this issue with the neighbor next door, his concern was actually that from his deck, which is where we've taken this picture, not from his garden, which is where he was taking the photo from. We actually had our contractor come up last week and build a frame. It's not really the pool, I don't think, that he's concerned about. It's the cabana, which is an accessory building, which is where my clients hope that his grandchildren will be changing before going out to the pool without going along the deck and slipping and falling. So when we put up this frame that you can see quite clearly here in the photo, it became evident that we're not blocking the view. This is actually looking straight out west, and the foliage, existing foliage as well as the proposed foliage is already in the way of his view, I would argue. And the next site plan, please, Mr. Yu. What you see there on the bottom left corner is a setback line to the cabana and the change rooms. Sorry, left, right there. Setback line. And you'll see that we've actually exceeded the setback for that cabana by almost twice as much, and that gives us ample opportunity to create lots and lots of landscaping between the property line and the cabana. And the next slide kind of shows representation of what that would do. So essentially what we can do is completely hide that cabana. It's not blocking his oceanfront view. It's just he's afraid that he's going to be looking at the back of it. And again, I think we can supplement a bunch of landscaping in there that will successfully cover it up. And I'm sorry, back to the first slide, Mr.
So have you had discussions with him regarding this?
Yes, and when we first met with him, he had agreed that this wasn't blocking his oceanfront view, but that he didn't want to look at it. You'll see that there are actually some box hedge cedars already on his property that grow about a foot or two a year. By the time this home is built, I would actually argue that even his landscaping is going to cover up this facade. I'm not really sure what else to say other than the fact that this really doesn't have to do with the rezoning. The rezoning is going from RF to RFO, which is an oceanfront zone. And the only reason we did that was because we wanted higher ceilings in the living room. This cabana would be allowed within the current zone or within the new zone. So it's really not a rezoning matter. It's simply a building permit matter.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else wishing to speak to bylaw number 18320? First call, second call, third and final call. Next bylaw, Madam Clerk.
Official Community Plan Amendment Bylaw 18316 and Zoning Amendment Bylaw 18317. Address is 9274 162A Avenue. The applicants are Gurnham and Jaswat Samra. The applicant is seeking to redesignate the property from suburban to urban and rezone from half-acre residential into single-family residential in order to subdivide into 2 single-family lots.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak to bylaw number 18316? First call, second call, third and final call. That concludes the bylaws under the public hearing. Going into committee reports, Transportation Infrastructure.
Move minutes be received. Transportation Infrastructure, September 15th.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. Surrey Heritage Advisory.
Move minutes be received. Surrey Heritage Advisory Commission, September 17th.
Second. All in favor?
Move recommendations be adopted.
Second. All in favor? Contrary? And that is carried. Just going into Mayor's report here, proclamations, World Diabetes Day. Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation invites government and non-governmental organizations to observe World Diabetes Day in order to raise public awareness of diabetes and its related complications. Therefore, let it be resolved that I declare November 14th as World Diabetes Day in the City of Surrey. Red Ribbon Day. The annual Red Ribbon for Life event is celebrating its 7th year of success, celebrating life and raising funds to ensure high-protein foods for low-income families affected by HIV and AIDS. Therefore, let it be resolved that I declare December 1st as Red Ribbon Day in the City of Surrey and encourage everyone to increase their awareness about the impact of HIV/AIDS and the need to work together to stop the spread of this disease. Buy Local Week. This week we honored the efforts of Surrey-based business owners in Surrey and the citizens who purchase from them. Therefore, let it be resolved that I declare December 1st to 7th as Buy Local Week in the City of Surrey. And Adoption Awareness Month. There's a need to remind citizens during this time that there are many children and sibling groups in the province who are available for adoption. Therefore, let it be resolved that I declare November 2014 as Adoption Awareness Month in the City of Surrey. And moving into corporate reports, we've dealt with two. R188.
Move the road allowance closure.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. R189.
Move the acquisition of the property on 1626482.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. R190.
Move the acquisition of the property at 16411 Fraser and the sale of property at 16441 Fraser.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. Going into third reading, number 1. It's council's wish. And I think just on this one too, you know, there was a delegation that came forward around the traffic congestion and issues like that, and I think we, you know, to make sure that those issues are looked at. Okay. What's council's wish on this?
Members, is there an item that needs to be filed on this one as well?
On each one. To be
Each
filed.
one?
Yes, that's the first one to be filed.
Yeah,
To be
so
filed.
I'll move that.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
And I'll move third reading on number 1 as well.
Second.
With those comments. And
yes.
all in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
I'll
Number
move
2.
third on 2.
Second.
Second.
Okay. And I just want to ensure that that landscape buffer is well intact,
Yes.
because I think that, you know, when we're looking at view corridors and having that piece in mind, that it's really important that the impact is not impacting a neighbor unnecessarily. So, okay. I will call the question. All in favor? Contrary? That is carried. Number 3.
On 3, move third reading as amended.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
And on the zoning, move third reading.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.
On 4, move final adoption.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried. Number 5.
On 5, move first.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move third.
Third. Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
On 6, move first.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move third.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried. Clerk's report. 1A.
On the zoning bylaw, move third. On
No, 1A.
Variance
1A.
permit.
Okay. Seconder.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried. 1B.
Move 1B.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move
1C.
1C.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move 1D.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move 1E.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried. 2A.
Move 2A.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
New
2B.
variance permit 2B.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move variance 2C.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move variance 2D.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move 2E.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move 2F.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move 2G.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move 3A. Second.
Okay. All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move 3B.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
Move 3C. Second.
All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
And move
And
4A.
4A. Perfect. Okay. All in
Second.
favor? Contrary? That is carried. Alrighty. Any notices of motion? Okay. Any other business? Alrighty. Could I have a motion to adjourn? Okay.
To adjourn.
All in favor? Contrary? That is carried.